Hello friends, myself Professor Vinod Desai. So last class I have started with perspective projections and I discussed some of the basics. So in today's class I will discuss an important concept that is vanishing points for perspective projections. When a scene is projected onto a view plane using a perspective mapping, then the lines that are parallel to the view plane are projected as parallel lines. But any parallel lines in the scene that are not parallel to the view plane are projected into converging lines. So the point at which a set of projected parallel lines appear to converge, so that point is known as vanishing point. Here each set of projected parallel lines has a separate vanishing point. Then for a set of lines that are parallel to one of the principal axes of an object, that vanishing point is referred to as principal vanishing point. So vanishing point and principal vanishing point you can observe in the next slide, which are shown in a particular figure. Here we can control the number of principal vanishing points as 1, 2 or 3 vanishing points with the orientation of projection plane, and the perspective projections are accordingly classified as 1 point, 2 point or 3 point projections. This is with respect to the number of principal vanishing points. The number of principal vanishing points in a projection is equal to the number of principal axes that will intersect the view plane. As you can see in this particular figure, the appearance of 1 point and 2 point perspective projections for a cube. In the projected view, that is you can observe in figure B, the view plane is aligned parallel to the xy object plane so that only the object z axis is intersected. This orientation produces a 1 point perspective projection with z axis vanishing point. Then as shown in the figure C, for the view, the projection plane intersect both the x and z axis but not the y axis. The resulting 2 point perspective projection contains both the x axis and z axis vanishing points. There is not much increase in the realism of a 3 point perspective projection as compared to a 2 point projection. So 3 point projections are not used as in architectural and engineering drawings. Then the next important concept is perspective projection view volume. Here we again create a view volume by specifying the position of a rectangular clipping window on the view plane. But now the bounding planes for the view volume are not parallel because the projection lines are not parallel. Here the bottom, top and the sides of a view volume are the planes through the window edges that all intersect at the projection reference point. This forms a view volume that is an infinite rectangular pyramid with its apex at the center of projection. So this rectangular pyramid you can see in this particular figure, right? Here all the objects which are outside this pyramid are eliminated by the clipping routines. A perspective projection view volume is also known as pyramid of vision because it approximates the cone of vision of our eyes or a camera. The displayed view of a scene includes only those objects within the pyramid, that is within the rectangular pyramid, just as we cannot see these objects beyond our peripheral vision, which are outside the cone of vision. Here, by adding near and far clipping planes, that is the boundaries, right? So by adding these near and far clipping planes that are perpendicular to the z view axis and also parallel to the view plane, so we chop up the parts of infinite perspective projection view volume to form a truncated pyramid. This truncated pyramid is also known as frustum view volume. as shown in the figure. So in this particular figure, which will illustrate the shape of a finite perspective projection view volume with a view plane that is placed between the near clipping plane and the projection reference point. Sometimes the near and far planes are required in a graphics package and sometimes they are optional. Usually, both the near and far clipping planes are on the same side of the projection reference point, with the far plane farther from the projection point than the near plane along the viewing direction. And as in the parallel projection, we can use the near and far planes simply to enclose the scene to be viewed. But with a perspective projection, we could also use the near clipping plane to take out the large object very close to the viewing plane that could project into unrecognizable shapes within the clipping window. Similarly, the far clipping plane could be used to cut out the objects which are far from the projection reference point that might project to small parts on the view plane. Some systems will restrict the placement of view plane relative to the near and far planes, and the other systems will allow it to be placed anywhere but except at the position of the projection reference point. If the view plane is behind the projection reference point, then the objects are inverted. Then the next important concept is perspective projection transformation matrix. Unlike a parallel projection, we cannot directly use the coefficients of the x and y coordinates as in the last class equations xp and yp to form the perspective projection matrix elements because the denominators of the coefficients are the functions of z coordinate. But we can use a three-dimensional homogeneous coordinate representation to express the perspective projection equation in the following form, that is xp equal to xh divided by h and yp equal to yh divided by h, where the homogeneous parameters has the value h equal to zprp minus z. The numerators in these equations are same as in the last class equations, that is xp and yp. Both the numerators are same here, that is xh equal to x in bracket zprp minus zvp plus xprp in bracket zvp minus z, and yh equal to y in bracket zprp minus zvp plus yprp in bracket zvp minus z. Thus we can set up a transformation matrix to convert a spatial position to homogeneous coordinates so that the matrix contains only the perspective parameters and not the coordinate values. The perspective projection transformation of a viewing coordinate position is then accomplished into two steps. The first step is we can calculate the homogeneous coordinates using the perspective transformation matrix as ph equal to m perspective dot p, where ph is the column matrix representation of the homogeneous point, that is xh, yh, zh, h, and p is the column matrix representation of the coordinate position x, y, z, 1. Actually, the perspective matrix would be concatenated with the other viewing transformation matrices, and then the composite matrix would be applied to the world coordinate description of a scene to produce the homogeneous coordinates. So this is first step. Second step is after the other processes have been applied, such as the normalization transformation and clipping routines, the homogeneous coordinates are divided by the parameter h to obtain the true transformation coordinate positions. Setting up the matrix elements for obtaining the homogeneous coordinates xh and yh values as in the equation 24, it is straightforward. We can do this by setting up the matrix elements for the Z transformation so as to normalize the perspective projection ZP coordinates. There are various ways that we could choose the matrix elements to produce the homogeneous coordinates as in the previous equation, that is equation for xh and yh, and the normalized ZP value for a spatial position x, y, z. The following matrix gives one possible way to formulate a perspective projection matrix. So this is what the following one of the matrix representation which will give one possible way to formulate a perspective projection matrix, that is M perspective. Here the parameters Sz and Tz are the scaling and translation factors for normalizing the projected values of Z coordinates. The specific values for Sz and Tz depends upon the normalization range that we select. This particular matrix will convert the description of a scene into homogeneous parallel projection coordinates. However, the Prustom view value can have any orientation so that these transformed coordinates could correspond to the oblique parallel projection. This occurs if the Prustom view value is not symmetric. If the Prustom view value for the perspective projection is symmetric, then the resulting parallel projection coordinates will correspond to an orthogonal projection. The next class, I'll consider some of the possibilities and I'll explain some of the properties. Thank you.